Alrighty, welcome to Ladies Who Question. It's Lisa.
It's Holly.
And we are back and with a bang, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Holly's back from her sojourn out to see some friends and relatives, and I'm here holding down the fort. Now we're both back and we're ready to rock it. Just a couple of quick observations before we jump in.
Okay.
Of course, cicadas first. I got to. How'd you like that hat that I showed you?
Loved it. Darling, embroidered, very detail-oriented on depicting the insect.
Yes, it was, and it's a cute hat and really well done, right?
It is very cute. Like, I'd wear it.
Yeah, one of my friends gave me that.
It's so cool.
She knew I was kind of into the cicadas, and I am, but here's my note about them.
What?
Have you noticed how they're kind of dying? You know, all the dead bodies?
Well, we hardly have any at our house.
Oh, so you haven't noticed.
Well, I mean, we had a few on the back patio.
That's so
last
weird.
night, but not like tons.
Okay, well, let me just tell you, because I see...
You have tons?
What I'm noticing is I'm seeing them on their little backs, and they're struggling and struggling, and it's, oh my God, it's breaking my heart. And I know this is not a popular thing to say, because a lot of people are like, ew, or whatever, or, and I would never. I just see them, and they're struggling, and then I'm noticing more and more that have done what they're going to do, and... They've laid their eggs and they've done their mating, and now they're down on the ground and they're struggling, and then they're dying. And so I'm noticing so many dead ones. And it's just the other observation.
Yeah.
Where are all the squirrels? Where the hell are all the squirrels? And it's, I thought I was
hallucinating.
Yeah. But I talked to a couple other people and they said, I really haven't seen them either. I was thinking that the other day.
Right. Because of the cicadas, you think? Well, I think we need to look into that.
Well, I think it's kind of weird because Lake Bluff, where we live, is rife.
Squirrel City. Yeah. Oh, my God. They're everywhere.
And I saw one today, and that's the only one I have really seen.
Wow. Yeah. I'll have to be more aware of that.
Well, I like squirrels, so I kind of noticed them. And anyway, those are my two off the top observations.
Okay.
Okay. And now here's something that will lead us into our topic of the day.
Okay.
Which is AI.
Yep.
Okay.
AI. Okay.
You went into depth on whatever you did.
Right.
Okay. And I can't wait to hear what you have.
Okay.
But I saw something today. There was a Miss AI contest, a beauty pageant.
Of a fake person?
Well, yeah. There are all these fake women.
Oh,
I know.
No.
And I don't even have all the details up in front of me. I just wanted to throw it out there because it chilled me. It chilled me.
That chills me too. And we're coming into a non-human society.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the most benign thing of anything, although it's pretty upsetting of what AI can do to us and not just for us, which, I keep hearing, it'll do this for you and this. And I'm thinking, no, I'm seeing it's going to take away a lot of jobs. And I don't think everyone's going to be adapting to all the other things that you'll be able to do.
Taking classes right now and keeping up on all the coding, you're going to miss the whole window.
And not everybody's going to be a coder. Let's just face it.
No.
So anyway, that's that.
Okay. Well, I want to keep it light, but I want to keep it informational and not be a downer. But there is so much AI scamming going on that's what we're going to talk about.
Oh,
and we're going to talk about one. I'll mention the types of scams, and I'm sure when you hear them, you go, "Oh yeah, I know what that is." But the top one we're going to dive deep into because it's really scamming a lot of people.
But it's definitely AI related, as you're saying. Okay.
So these are the typical scams of AI: voice cloning, online scams, clickbait, phishing, and texting. I don't know what the texting is.
Well, that would be, don't they call that smishing?
Oh, you're probably right.
Yeah, I think
I saw that word, and I had to, basically when I was reading a lot about these scams, I had to go back and look up a lot of the words because they're all new words to our vocabulary.
Right. Well, SMS is short message service. That's a text.
Yeah, right.
So I think they started calling it smishing.
Okay, so that's a new one for the Wikipedia or the encyclopedia. Deep fake. Do you know what deep fake is?
I certainly do.
You do?
Oh, yeah, because they're talking about how it's so deceptive. You can create a fake person or someone saying something that they never really said, like with a fake AI voiceover, or something like that, or take someone's words, take the words and make them say something they never said over video of somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked it up and I got several.
Maybe you have a better definition.
But
Mine
this is
just
what I found. It says deep fake technology, the ability to use digital tools and AI to create a realistic looking video of somebody like a celebrity.
Okay, well, that's a lot more succinct way to say it than I was just trying
And
to
then
explain.
I'm sure using their voice too.
Yeah, and the frightening thing is it's already being used. Whoops.
Oopsie.
It's already being used. It's being used politically. It's being, in the political world, it's being used with all kinds of, celebrities for sure.
Right.
And it's really dangerous.
I think one of the first ones we saw was with, that comedian. When the book was read.
The book was read.
Oh my God.
It was a man or woman? Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman.
Oh, well, they
That was about 6 or 8 months ago.
Right.
But that's now so old because they're doing it all the time. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to talk about voice cloning.
Okay.
Because...
Well, that's kind of what they did, I think, with her. Or they appropriated her book. And,
right.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
And there's so many areas in that topic that affect us on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And they... McPhee... Does it pop up on your computer all the time? It's like
McAfee?
No, it's MCFEE, or is that McAfee?
I think it's MCAFEE. McAfee.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, McAfee, and I'm always trying to get rid of it. Yeah. But anyways, they did a survey of 7,000 people, and 77% of the 7,000 have been a victim to AI voice scams. Now, the typical AI voice scam is they get somebody's voice, and they say it's very easy to do so. Instagram, videos, TikTok, and their
podcasts,
and they're answering their voice message. Mm-hmm. So somehow they wiggle into that. They get the voice, and they can record whatever they want with that same voice technology. Mm. And I'm like, first I was like, how do they get the voice? So the biggest scam is targeted towards older people, where they say their grandchild is in jail and they need money to get them out, which happened in our family. And
you told me about that. I don't know if we discussed that in the
I don't think
pod,
we did. But my father-in-law got a phone call. He lives in California. My son at the time was living in Montana, and my husband and I live in Chicago. And he gets a call from New York Police Department saying that his grandson is in a lot of trouble, and he doesn't want to tell his parents, and he needs money to get out of jail. And then he goes, "Here, talk to your grandson." "Hi, Grandpa, I need help. Please help me out and don't tell my dad." It was something to that extent.
Oh, that's so evil.
Well, it sounded just like Harper. So luckily, my father-in-law, with his wherewithals, contacted. He goes, "Okay." First he said, "Okay, what's your phone number? I need to call you back because I need to go to the bank to get the money, and I'll call you back when I get back." Mm-hmm. Called his son, my husband, and said, "Hey, where's Harper?" And he goes, "He's in Montana." Mm. So then Tom, Harper's dad, gets Harper on the phone. Okay, he's fine. It's a scam. And then he called the police because he had a phone number, but who cares about that?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I got a phone number. I just had the scam. But I mean, I don't know how they chase these guys. They'll never find. It could have been India. It could have been another country.
Yeah.
So it happened to a friend of ours, and the same kind of thing with her daughter. So, anyways, it's happening 24/7.
Well, you just have to be uber aware, and I don't know if that helps, because it's such an emotional thing.
It is,
and
especially when they're going after the elderly in more ways than one on voice cloning.
That's so evil,
and so voice cloning is terrible.
So that's the first one.
If anybody ever gets a call where the caller is urgently asking for money, usually through a wire transfer, gift card, or payment app, it's a fraud. Just hang up.
It's the urgency. That's the
urgency. We need to get the money right now.
Right.
So you don't have time to think, "Oh my God, I got to get to the bank. Oh my God, somebody's been in an accident."
Yeah, that's the red flag. Mm-hmm. Okay.
$732 million were lost last year on those scams.
Oh my gosh.
And that's just the United States.
And that's just here.
So basically, what they're saying is to pull your voice from posted videos, social media, voicemail, So now we don't even have a voice anymore.
Well,
it's like,
I'm sunk.
Okay.
I'm sunk.
We're just nowhere. We're going to be robots ourselves.
It's beginning to feel that way with the news in the last couple of weeks about AI.
I know.
Yeah.
There's a company that's called SAEIDI that is generating synthetic audio, voice cloning, or synthetic audio, which is like, I don't know exactly what that means, but they're probably
computer generated.
Voices.
Well, we already have had that. Do you know, we've already had computer generated.
Well, what they're trying to do is they're doing it to resurrect old people, like that have died. No, but like on a good way, like Abraham Lincoln. You know how you can do a gram,
a hologram,
and then their voice comes through.
Yeah,
it's more like for animation and things like that.
Oh, okay.
And actually, they're very much in favor of regulations with this. So basically, Congress and the Senate and passing laws, they haven't caught up to passing laws fast enough to regulate, prosecute, investigate this whole AI thing with all the scams. There's just too many of them. They need a whole department. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Well, wasn't it about a year and a half ago that these guys, all these forefront of tech guys, these gurus, signed some letter saying, oh, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. We have to be very, very careful. We've talked about this before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was Elon Musk, it was Bill Gates, it was all these guys.
And they saw this.
Yeah, they saw this coming.
Yeah.
They said, we got to be careful. Well, who's putting the brakes on? Who's there? Who's driving the bus, man?
Right.
So I guess you can put together a letter and I'll sign it. You know, but
I know.
It seems like it's marching on no matter what. So anyway, let's just take a quick break because I have to go take care of a barking dog.
Okay.
All right. Be right back. Okay, we're back. What's the next item on your list about the scams and the other things?
Oh, well, there's so much. Like Apple's coming up with a whole...
Well, they're doing their own AI.
A privacy thing.
Oh, privacy thing?
Yes.
Well, also Apple is coming up with their own AI. That was the news this week. Yeah.
Yeah. Apple says its privacy-focused system will first attempt to fulfill AI tasks locally on a device itself. Basically, after reading this very complicated, intense vocabulary I didn't understand press release or something from Apple, it makes it sound like they're going to try to protect everybody, like in a private cloud. I don't even know how that's going to work.
I mean, how private is it? Well, here's the thing. Elon Musk objected to it because he said something about how it would be sharing information also somehow with ChatGPT, which is something that he helped develop.
Okay.
And he said this leaves everything open for people to see what they're developing because you can get into everybody else's stuff. And that was his objection. Now, I find a lot of things objectionable about it, but that was his objection. So anyway, he's one of the ones who signed the letter, and maybe that's part of the reason why he was part of that.
That's
that
interesting
letter.
Because anyways, their companies involved are Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta. They'll collect and store enormous amounts of personal data. Apple says any personal data passed on to the cloud will be used only for the AI task at hand.
Well, if they can guarantee that, sure.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, there were a couple different levels, I guess. There's one level here of privacy, another level here, and then another level there. And that's all I know.
Basically, what I see is they're going to be charging us up the yin-yang, and it'll be like, okay, do you want to be protected more? Sure. I always have said Apple has us by the you-know-what, because everybody has Apple products, and we're stuck.
Yeah. Well, I think you can choose to participate in AI or not, though.
Oh, okay.
So I choose to not participate because I want to stretch my mind and I want to think of things on my own. I don't want to have artificial intelligence tell me how to write this or how to, what are the other things? That's the only thing I would use it for. I don't want artificial intelligence to think for me.
Okay.
If I can do it myself. But I can't do some math.
You're like one of a kind because most people are lazy and they'll be like,
I enjoy writing.
I'm just going to go to AI and they'll do whatever. So I heard a lawyer on a podcast yesterday talk about what he uses it for. I'm like, I wonder what they use it for.
I'd love to know.
And so he's sounds pretty smart. First, he writes his brief, his whatever he needs to write. And then once that's written, he submits it to AI and they put in their opinion. And he goes, sometimes I get a couple of good opinions and sometimes I don't. But at least they're doing it themselves first and not relying on AI.
An opinion? You mean like, you forgot this or you should put in that?
Any more information. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's sort of like a double check. That's
yeah.
different.
Right. I think that's different. So I think in certain things, like with radiologists, like I talked about last year,
Yep.
it's a good double checking system. But the radiologist that I interviewed said, I'm afraid everyone's going to get lazy and depend on it versus, we got to do so many a day and they're so tired and they're reading all these reports and scans and then they'll look at AI, then they'll do theirs. I think there should be some kind of policy where you do your own report first and then you can click on AI and then cross-reference. It's crazy.
Well, it's complex. Yeah.
So that's just about the voice cloning, which to me is so scary and so it's really hard to...
Well, how do you regulate that? How do you protect yourself? I don't know how you can.
Exactly.
I mean, my voice is all over the place. That could be... I've had a lot of people say to me, hey, I swear to God, I heard you on this commercial or that, whatever. And I'm like, well, I didn't do that. And then I try to track it down or try to find it and generally can't because it was something they heard on TV or... I don't know. It just, it exhausts me even thinking about this right now.
I know, it does. And I never thought that this is where we're going. Like, because just, 10, 20 years ago, and now it's like, wow.
Well, it seems like it's happened at a very rapid pace.
It has.
And that's, the acceleration is what's frightening, I think, not just to you and me.
Right.
But
jobs. And you think about the job market and how many it's going to be in every industry where people are going to be losing jobs and have to learn something else. Mm-hmm. That's cloning. And maybe in a couple of months, we'll talk about another AI scam or scandal.
Okay. Or maybe we could just do this as a segment while we cover it. Once. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds, because there's a lot.
Yeah. All you need to do is look it up one day and there's all this fresh information.
Yeah, sadly.
I know.
Oh, let's come back with some silly stuff we don't have to really think about.
But I know you're not as into pop culture and the downright dirty pop culture as I am.
That's okay.
But, okay, first of all, every time you I turn on my computer, all I see is JLo and Ben, JLo and Ben.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I've been following that.
Over it. I'm over it. But
apparently they are too.
I know. I think I have, this is my opinion. So obviously they're trying to sell their house in Beverly Hills or whatever.
$60 million.
That they just bought 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't even imagine living at that pace.
No.
Like, first of all, she's been married 4 times. She bought a house 2 years ago.
4?
Yeah, that's her 4th husband. 4. Yeah, I thought it was 5, but it was 4. So could you imagine blowing through 4 husbands by the time you're like 52 or something? I think that's about how old she is. That's a lot of work there. And she tries to do everything. Like, she needs to be more focused. I don't think she's the greatest actress out there.
No.
I've never heard much about her concerts. So she was going on this big concert tour.
Yeah.
Well, and then so all of a sudden it's canceled.
Duh.
And it says, because I want to spend time with my family.
Oh, come on.
And so I think it's the ticket sales sucked.
Yeah.
I looked up the price of the tickets and I'm like, oh my God, $49.95.
Oh, so they weren't even high priced.
The good seats were $144. And I'm like, Taylor Swift's for, $5,000 for a good seat and $500 for a bad seat, and sells out in a minute.
Well, there's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
What she's got going for her is that she's not a one-trick pony. She can sing, she can dance, she can act.
Right.
To whatever level of each, but the fact is, she can.
And she doesn't try to do everything. JLo wants to do this and a talk show and that. I mean, I don't know, but
actually, I think maybe I didn't say that right. What I'm saying is that JLo has going for her is that she's not a one-trick pony.
Oh, okay.
She can sing and dance and act, maybe at moderate to moderately high levels, but not peak.
Do one thing amazing.
Yeah, but she does, and that's,
I give her credit.
Okay.
She's a great dancer. She has a great voice. I've seen her in a couple movies, but I'm not like a huge fan.
Nor am I. But I'm just trying to give her credit where credit is due. Right. She can do all these things. She doesn't do it at the highest level. Okay, mm-hmm. She does it like medium on up a step, but she can at least do it. So I'm trying to give her some credit. I'm not JLo fan,
Right.
but I kind of go, oh, okay, well, this is entertaining, and I've enjoyed some of her rom-coms, and that's about it. But when I saw that,
You tell me.
just like you, when I want to spend time with my family, I went, okay, how many times we heard that from a politician?
Right.
Spend time with my family, or
Yeah.
whoever.
Right.
You know what that means,
Right.
Your life is unraveling,
It's unraveling.
and hers has spun out.
And Ben's like, oh.
Well,
every picture is like,
they're so different.
yes, they are.
She wants the spotlight. He's like, no, I just want to do my work. I want to be a good producer, actor, director. Mm-hmm. And then that's where it goes. And I don't need to be promoting it all the time. But they're very different that way. And she's like, no, I'm all about the spotlight.
Right.
I mean, that is a recipe for disaster to begin with.
Totally. I
So-
think once the flame simmered, it was like, are you ever going to stop working? And she's like, no.
No, never.
So
Did he think she was going to change? Or, I mean, this is
no,
like women.
not at that
well,
age.
women are with men. Oh, he'll change.
He'll change,
I mean, I've made that mistake. So, no, people are who they are, and she was always going to be that way. And unless she led him down the garden path, saying, "Oh, I'll be so content just to be
home sitting by the fires.
I mean, moderately working."
Right.
I mean, who knows what happened?
Who knows? But that was kind of funny.
It was interesting, but not that surprising.
No.
I mean, right? You follow all this stuff a lot more closely.
Yeah.
And
I was
even
just waiting for it to come unhinged. And I guess Jennifer Gardner was hoping their marriage would work because she has some,
stability for the kids.
Right,
Of
right. And she
course.
wanted Ben to be happy. Mm-hmm. I mean, she was genuinely not mad. She's like, oh, no, now he's like, we
Now
hope
he's
he
at loose
stays.
ends and stays sober.
Yeah, we hope he stays healthy.
Today, I saw something about Princess Kate and the Trooping the Colors. Or Queen. Princess Kate, yeah.
Yeah.
And she looked good.
Amazing.
You saw the picture too?
Yeah, I did.
She looked same as ever.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And smiling, and there's absolutely she wasn't showing any, dowdiness or.
No, she was probably putting on a brave face because she has to, and she wanted to, and to assuage the UK's feelings about, her health. But I don't know. I was sort of heartened. I mean, she looked like she had her real hair.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so maybe that's promising.
And I'm sure the crowds were going nuts.
I didn't see any of that.
Oh,
but
okay.
I just saw the slight video of her in the carriage or whatever it was. Was she in a carriage or a limo? I don't know. I just saw through the glass. And then there was a picture of her, a side shot. Same, I think you saw that.
Right. I saw the side shot.
And you could tell it was her hair. It wasn't.
No, it looked like real hair.
Yeah. And she looked, really thin.
Yeah.
But she always does. So
Right.
anyway, that's that.
Welcome back, Kate.
Welcome back. Okay. We're going to take a quick break.
I'm still completely in awe about Taylor Swift and her concerts because she's in Europe. And I go, when is this going to stop? Because this has been a concert tour for a year.
Well, yeah, she's been in Europe since when?
Well, her last concert date is December 8th.
Oh, what?
I looked it up. Yeah.
In Europe?
Uh,
She's already been to Asia.
No, and then it comes back to the States.
Oh.
But she's going to all the countries over there. She's going to like 3 cities in Germany. I mean, it's not like, and then she's going back to London. I looked at her dates and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
December
8th is the last day of her tour, the Eras tour. And I think it ends in the States because she'll be in Indianapolis. She's going to Poland. I mean, there's some interesting countries that she's going to, and they're all sold out, and it's crazy. But I was like, oh my God. Because she was started, when did she start this whole thing? Like, I want to say a long time ago.
Well, because
last summer.
Her concert video came out in September. And
It did?
yeah.
Okay.
You saw it. I still
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but you saw it.
it's so
That was
good.
September it came out. And
Wow.
Yeah, and so that had to be that from the first leg of the tour
Yeah,
of
so
North America.
It's like going on a year and a half.
Well, you know what? She probably figures get while the getting's good, strike while the iron is
Yeah.
hot, etc. Every aphorism you want to throw out there.
Maybe she's getting ready to settle down.
Well,
I hope so.
Maybe.
Everybody's rooting for that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
We got a big ego there to deal with.
I know. Yeah, right. So any other pop?
Not hers. Well, I mean, hopefully she's got a good one too. You know what I mean?
Any other pop culture?
I didn't prepare any because I knew you would.
Well,
sorry,
mine
lazy.
was pretty basic, but it was just it's in the news every day. I'm like, okay, I'm so sick of this. I think the news, the stories are kind of dying down.
Seems like you love it.
Well, also, I'm always amazed at how TMZ's first at everything.
Well, they have the tentacles.
Well, they have people
entrenched.
everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
Because it's like, wow, how did they get that picture so fast?
Yeah.
This just happened an hour ago.
Well, they have stringer reporters. Like,
that would be a fun job.
Well, it could be stressful too.
Yeah, that's true.
They have stringer reporters. They have people that work as a freelancer. Freelancers all across the country who they know they're going to get paid if they get them a scoop or a picture or video.
Oh, I want to do that.
Well, you probably could.
Just like not in my spare time, if I'm driving and I see something, then I could shoot it and say I was there.
That's kind of how it works sometimes.
Yeah,
and it's time is of the essence, so you have to be on it.
Yeah, that's right. It's always like 3:00 in the morning, and weird stuff happens.
Well, we know where you are at 3 a.m.
Yeah, we know where I am. That's about wrapping up our little topics for today.
All right, that sounds great.
Okay.
Boy, you are just raring to go. I think this vacation did you good.
I know. I was excited to get back on front of the mic.
Really?
I was.
Oh.
I know. When I drove by your house coming home, I'm like, oh.
I'm going to be there pretty soon.
Yeah.
In the studio.
Yeah.
One day we'll take a picture of this. Once we get some of these cords cleaned up and stuff, we'll take a picture of
real deal. Let's just show it like it is.
Okay. Well, we will. You're right. This is kind of it. Well, all right. One of these days, folks, if you're lucky, you get to see our digs, baby.
Yes.
Right. Anyway. Okay. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you. Sayonara. Over and out.
Adios.
Thanks, Harvey. Ladies Who Question is executive produced and edited by me, Lisa Dominique, and also executive produced by Holly Caulfield. Holly also does most of our research, and Claire Caulfield is in charge of technical assistance and social media. Music, My Lionheart. Sketch music by Florian Manx and Matthew Anderson. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, follow, rate, and review Ladies Who Question on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Send your thoughts to ladieswhoquestion@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and our website, ladieswhoquestion.com.
All content discussed on Ladies Who Question are the opinions of Lisa Dominique and Holly Caulfield and should not be construed as advice of any kind. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as advice of any personal or medical issue for yourself or others. This disclaimer also applies to guests or contributors to the podcast.